All right, howdy. I'm going to do a little bit of a demo today of this amp, which is a 1996 Dr. Z prescription RX. This is not the later ES version. This is the original formula prescription with 4 EL84 tubes for about 45 watts of power, 3 12AX7s, and a GZ34 rectifier. It's a very simple amp, but it is great sounding, very big sounding. On the front panel you've got bass, middle, treble, EQ, and volume. And then you've also got 2 mini switches, one of which is an expand, which the explanation that I was given with that is that it basically is a plexi switch. So when you turn it on, it switches a 0.68 capacitor and then a resistor, the value I forget, across one of the gain stages, and that basically adds gain to the circuit and makes it more sound like a plexi than a Vox-ish type amp. Then you have a 3-position bright switch. The middle is off, which is where I've got it, and I'm also starting with the expand switch off, and then there's 2 different bright caps you can switch in or out with it in position 1 or 2. On the back there is a foot switch for boost, and you'll hear that it's not a huge difference, but again, it was explained to me that it switches some things in and out basically to allow more gain to come through the amp, and makes it, definitely noticeably louder. So you can think of that, I guess, as a good lead boost maybe. It's not like the second channel on some amps where you just go crazy amounts of gain or something like that. It's a relatively subtle thing, but it's definitely there. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm starting with the volume down, about 10 o'clock or so. And this is definitely a very loud amp. I will crank it up to where I like to have it in just a minute here as I go through it. I'm going to leave the EQ where it is. I don't find it to be hugely impactful. Just does the kind of thing you expect it to do. So I'm going to leave it where it is, and this is what it sounds like as it sits right now. Pretty girthy, clean sound, nothing real exciting about it. If I turn on the expand switch, you'll hear a difference going on there. Some more gain in the circuit, and it brightens it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead now and switch on the bright to position 1, and you can compare that. To position 2, which, if I remember correctly, is the brightest of the brighter of the positions, but apparent it is out in YouTube land, but definitely in the room, that position also has less bottom end to it. So I'm going to put it back in the middle, which is where I like it. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to go ahead and play and try to switch on the boost while I'm playing, which probably won't be super smooth of me because I'm not super smooth. And I didn't think to bring it out here on a foot switch where I could do that. So anyway, hopefully you hear the difference. So definitely it cranks up the gain a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the volume up about where I like it, which is about 7. And I leave the bright switch off and the expand switch on, and this is my basic preferred sound out of this amp. Switch on the bright, position 1, expand is still on. And then I'm going to switch some pickups around a little bit so you can hear what it sounds like in something other than the bridge position. turn it all the way up so you can hear what that sounds like. Although I think it gets a little bit mushy there. back on the bridge position. Middle position. Behind the neck. And back to the bridge. So there you go. I think it's a really cool sounding amp. And I actually have not run it into anything else that sounds quite like it, really, because, like I said, it really has a mix of what sounds to me like Marshall and Vox DNA in a really good combination, because you get the gain that you expect out of the Marshall, and you don't get it so spongy sounding like the way a Vox can be when you crank it up. But at the same time, it's not that really grating, edgy sound either. And this is a guitar with PAF output type humbuckers. So obviously, if you play something single coils, it's going to be a little cleaner, but still got plenty of room for a lot of gain and grind to it. And if you play something with hotter pickups, even then obviously you can get pretty far into hard rock territory. But it sits in a really nice, very versatile kind of roots rock, classic rock kind of sound. Definitely an amp that I was glad I took a chance on, since I couldn't find any good demos of it. And if you see one out there, they're not super expensive, or at least the ones that I found weren't. Definitely worth taking a chance on if you're into that kind of sound. Thanks.